Look at how good that looks. It looks incredible. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Hey everyone, I'm Dave, and it's time to make the donuts. What's that from? I don't know. But we're making keto donuts today, and I'm excited because I've never done it before. Now, like I said, we're going for keto donuts, and to start off, we're gonna need some cottage cheese, all blended up in our fancy little Ninja Chop thingy, which I do love to use my little Ninja Chop, and I'll put a link for that in the video. 1 cup of cottage cheese into, it doesn't have to be this, but something that will process it, food processor, blender, something like that, to make all the chunks go away. So we don't want chunky chunks in our donut. But yeah, hopefully these are absolutely amazing donuts. I'm not fancy enough to have a power cord in my island, my little kitchen island. So I'm gonna use my Christmas light extension cord, and it's gonna work out. I think that if I could change one thing about my kitchen though, it would be to have a power outlet like right here. All right, so let's blend it up. And via the magic of editing, we'll be at the part where it's already blent. Blenderfied? Blended? Blended? How do you do past tense on that? Blended. Anyways, so we got blended. I don't know, don't like it. Doesn't feel right on the mouth, guys. Oh boy, Michael Scott joke. All right, anyways, so blend up your cottage cheese, 1 cup of it, and set it aside. Now we can set the cottage cheese aside, and then we want to get a large bowl to combine our dry ingredients. Okay, so we're gonna add in our dry ingredients to this. 1.5 cups of almond flour goes in there first. And now we went to New York the other day. Me and my family went on a vacation, and we visited New York City. And while we were there, we were in the Chelsea Market, which is I think on 9th Street. It was 1.5 cups of almond flour, 1/4 cup of coconut flour. And when we were in there, we found a little donut shop. I can't remember what it was called. It was a little donut shop, and they made those mini donuts, and they were super delicious. And they were very expensive. 1 little mini donut was like $1. But the exciting part about the location, the place, was they had like all these different glazes that you could get on them, which would just really up the level of the deliciosity. That's a word. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, maybe more, let's see. And then another teaspoon of baking powder. So it's actually 2 teaspoons of baking powder go in there with your coconut flour and your almond flour. But while I was sitting there enjoying these $1 mini donuts that were delicious, I decided, you know what? I bet I could make a keto donut at home that would be healthier and more delicious. Well, maybe not more delicious, but hopefully decently delicious. We'll see. Trying a sweetener I've never tried before, Splenda monk fruit. This is what Walmart had in stock, so it's what we're trying. We need 1/2 cup or adjust to taste. So we'll just do 1/2 cup into the bowl here. You hear my cat snorting? I've got one of those like little push-faced cats, a little Persian or whatever, and it's always like, you know, doing that thing. So 1/2 cup of the Splenda monk fruit, salt and cinnamon. I want to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I shouldn't really dump it over that. I don't know. Let's try this way. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So anyways, all that was leading up to me saying we're gonna make some glazes for it that are hopefully keto too. That'll make them even more exciting. So it's not just gonna be standard donuts, but there's gonna be glazes. Now whether or not the donuts are gonna be any good, it's anyone's best guess. I'm no pro. If you're new to the channel, guys, I like to make cooking videos that are relatable, videos that are a little more realistic than a lot of the videos out there where people are perfectly cooking everything on the first time. I just record myself trying, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, and hopefully you enjoy the journey with me. I just added 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and now I'm gonna mix this all up together, all our dry ingredients. Get them nice and combined. Now it also says you can add nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon. I'm not going to, because nutmeg to me can really be overpowering. So I'm gonna skip it. But if you want to do 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and comment down below, let me know how it is. I'd be curious to find out. Now I get my recipes from ChatGPT. That's kind of like become a in the background thing. It used to be like the main focus was the ChatGPT aspect, like artificial intelligence. But now, like, if you watch the channel, you know that I don't know how to make these recipes myself. I have to use ChatGPT to create them. Sometimes ChatGPT fails, sometimes it does a great job. That's part of the fun. All right, let's set this aside and get another little bowl. Now in this bowl, we are going to add a grand total of 4 eggs. Eggs erroneous. Do you guys remember eggs erroneous? Oops, that was a fail. That's from Ernest Goes to Camp. Remember the cafeteria guys? They're like, oh, we're gonna make our eggs erroneous casserole, and then they like shoot it at the bad guys. It's like blue. Pretty weird.
Look at that. Jake's specialty du jour, eggs erroneous. It's made with powdered eggs and 17 herbs and spices smuggled into this country by Tibetan monks.
Anyways, 4 eggs in here. Try not to get shells in there, even though I am. They don't taste great. I'm gonna try to get them out if I can. All right, I got it out. Is there any more? We're going to beat the eggs until fluffy, and I'm gonna use my fancy new KitchenAid wireless thingy instead of my big heavy-duty KitchenAid baking thing, because this thing works good. It says to beat them until they're fluffy. I don't know what that means. So it says after a minute or two they'll become frothy. I didn't do a minute or two, so I'm gonna go a little longer. All right, so I beat these for like 2 minutes, and I think we're good. It said it should become like, at the beginning of stages of whipping cream, the volume should increase and they should become a pale yellow, which I feel like we've accomplished all that. And so we're gonna say that the air is in there, because you gotta get air in them. But I don't know, I could have done it totally wrong. Comment below if I did. All right, and to the egg mixture, we want to add a 1/4 cup of melted butter. I just put that in the microwave to melt it up. Then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Oops, 1 and 2. And then our blended cottage cheese from earlier. All right, so dump your cottage cheese in there. Oh gosh, I dropped the, oh crap. Well, that's all right. I just kind of dropped the whole thing in there, but that's okay. Cottage cheese and container make it taste extra plasticky. No, don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Whatever, it's fine. I'll wash it. Wash it like they do in West Virginia, where Tina's family's from. Give it a wash. Or is that a Virginia thing or a North Carolina? I don't know. All right, let's mix all that up. Ooh, that looks pretty fancy, doesn't it? Now we're gonna slowly add in our dry mix to that, like so. Add a little bit at a time and mix it up. Slowly forming our delicious little bit of dough for our donuts. Oh, Tina said she sees what I did there, dough for our donuts. I'm very creative like that. Mix it up, add a little more. Get overzealous and add it all. This might be one of those scenarios where I'm over mixing again. I am kind of happy with how the dough's turning out though. I mean, so far. Hopefully it's not gonna be like too liquidy or whatever. We want it to be fluffy. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm just getting the stuff off the side, doing a little scraping, then mix it one more time. Cool, cool. I'm gonna say that's good. Maybe I'll just mix it up, make sure it looks good. It says you don't want lumps, so I don't really see any lumps though. I think we're okay on that front. Yeah, looks good. Now this is where you would use a donut pan, which I do happen to have, and some grease, and just grease the little donut hole area, like so. Now this sort of thing consistently goes very poorly for me, but it says to put it all in a piping bag or Ziploc bag, and we're gonna pipe the donut onto the tray, and hopefully this works. I'm really bad at this. Let's get a little more in there. I wish I had a bigger Ziploc too, but this will work. I was wondering how we were gonna do this because the texture isn't that of something we could actually form into donuts. So we're gonna pipe it into donuts, which makes sense. Oh my gosh, I'm making a mess. Here, I've got my handy dandy little towel thingy here. Rag, washcloth. Can I? Yeah, whatever. I don't know where my scissors are, so should I try this with a knife? Sure, try it with a knife. Hopefully you can see what's going on here. The kids took the scissors, Tina said. All right, so we want to use our little piping bag and squirt it in till it's 3/4 of the way full. There we go. Hey, you know what? It's actually kind of working. A rare occurrence on the Cooking with Dave show. Something's actually working properly. A lucky morning today. I don't know if it's actually gonna taste like a donut. They kind of look like dog poos. There's no doubt about it. Oh, and I said 3/4 full. That's more than 3/4. There we go. It's a thing of beauty, guys. We got donuts here. Bake in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes. Gotta let it preheat first. Almost made a mistake. And when it bakes, we're gonna work on our glazes. Okay, so I just put the donuts in, 350 degrees, 15 minutes. Now we're gonna work on the glazes. I wanted to say, I always get this comment from you guys, and I wanted to go ahead and answer it. Almost every video I do, someone will say, you look like you have ADHD. Almost every time, you seem like you have ADHD. Is it possible you have ADHD? Yes, I do have ADHD. That is why I'm all over the place when I'm doing things. So now you know. All right, so for our first glaze, we're gonna do a vanilla glaze. And to do that, we're gonna need some powdered sweetener that is, you know, keto. So I found this Pure stuff that I'm hoping will work. And so we will need, it seems like it's too much. Like it's gonna create more than I need of the, and I'm gonna end up wasting it, but whatever. Half a cup, it says half a cup of this powdered sweetener. That's a lot, and this stuff was expensive. I feel like I'm wasting a little bit, but such is life. I make the sacrifice for you guys. I waste the money so you don't have to. We then want 2 to 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. 1, 2, I spilt a little dash more. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla to get that flavor going. And then we mix that up and it's gonna create a vanilla glaze. Now, if your stomach has any sensitivity to these fake sweeteners, this is probably enough to really hurt your stomach and give you a nice long trip to the bathroom. You know, great way to cut weight before your next wrestling match. But yeah, I would not eat all of this. I would eat a little bit of this. This is probably enough for all 6 donuts. But because I promised you multiple dipping sauces, we're gonna make 2 more that are also gonna be delicious. And then you can just pick one. That would be my recommendation. Just pick one to make. Yeah, that looks like a vanilla glaze. Not bad. I think I'm gonna cut this one in half. I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of the sweetener. Waste not, want not, or whatever. So yeah, we're just gonna do a 1/4 cup of the sweetener on this one. So we're not wasting. And you wanna add a tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. I've got the Hershey's here. So, I dropped a little cream. I think cream's going in it anyways though. I don't think it really matters. Yep, as expected. So same idea, 2 to 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. 1, 2.5 again, and then a teaspoon of vanilla. So same idea, except this one has cocoa powder. So this is a chocolate glaze. I'm gonna put that other fork. I think I can reuse it. Mix that up. Oh, you know what? I did the same amount of heavy cream, but not the same amount of sweetener. So I've got to add the other 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 cup of sweetener. The texture is going to be all wrong. That was a fail. I cut in half just one ingredient. The rest I left complete. So how many tablespoons of? I think I did two tablespoons. Yeah. Anyways, you get the point, guys. That was a bit of a flop, but you get the point. So next one, maybe I'll cut it in half. 3rd try is a charm. Add a little more heavy cream because you want it to be a glaze. Uh-oh. The heavy cream has the carbs, so you gotta be careful. Don't go too crazy with that. This one I just screwed up. You know, just ignore my screw up and all will be well. All right, chocolate glaze is good. And last but not least, we'll do a cinnamon sugar, which is just, you know, gonna be a 1/4 cup of the sweetener, a teaspoon of cinnamon, like that. And then you wanna add 2 tablespoons of melted butter into that mix. Oh, that's hot. Mix that all up and this will be our cinnamon sugar glaze. Doesn't look very glazy, this one. So we'll add, it actually says that we can add a little bit of heavy cream to that if we're not happy with the consistency. So I'll just a tiny bit, probably a tablespoon. Mix it up and we should have more of a glaze, there we go. More of a glaze consistency with a tablespoon of that. So there you go, you've got 3 glazes. You've got cinnamon sugar, chocolate, and vanilla. And now the donuts should be done in about 2 minutes and we're gonna try them and potentially have the world's greatest donuts. We're gonna talk about the macros soon too. Now recently, I've decided to just kind of go on the keto diet because you guys like the videos, it's healthier, I've been gaining weight. So I'm figuring I'm just gonna own it and go keto. And some of you told me that that will help my ADHD. So it'll be interesting to see if that's true. All right guys, our donut should be done. Hopefully, we can do the toothpick test because we're fancy like that. Yep, comes out clean. Now are they actually gonna come? Probably need to let them cool. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I think we're good. It's important to let them cool. So for how long? 5 minutes in the pan and then on a wire rack. I'm not patient enough for that, guys. But I'll give it 5 minutes in the pan. They're looking good. I'm like super excited to eat them. That's why I don't want to wait, but I'll be back. Okay, so let me see. Do I want to try to get one out first? I think I do. I want to see what they look like. I'm gonna take this little knife around the edges. Oh, it's kind of stuck in the middle. Let's see if we can get one out. Come on, donut. Holy cow, guys. Look at that. I am very proud of this. Check this out. I made an actual keto donut that looks stinking good. Wow, okay, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna get them all out and put them in this other tray so we can kind of see them. But yeah, look at that. Boom. I hear a cricket. I don't know if there's a cricket in my house, but my kid's playing a cricket game. Look at that. Boom, shakalaka, as they'd say in the 90s. Don't get excited, Dave. You're gonna go too fast and mess it up. Deep breath. I'm really excited because a lot of the recipes I do end up garbage, and this looks, not garbage, but ugly. And these look actually good. So I'm pretty excited about it. All right, so we wanna get the glaze on it. Oh gosh, look at this. The chocolate glaze has like hardened up. Have they all done that? Oh no, that's the cinnamon one. Okay, so let's try to add some chocolate glaze first to one of them. All right, so I'm not that great at adding the glaze. That doesn't look amazing. I feel like you kind of want it to go over the edge a little. Is it a glaze or a frosting? I don't know. More of a frosting consistency. Check that out. Boom, chocolate donut. Now I'm gonna try it. I'm very excited about this. Look at how good that looks. It looks incredible. Oh my gosh. That's insane. That is so good. That's delicious. I'm very excited about how good that is. Okay, my camera keeps overheating, but let's try a vanilla one. The chocolate is incredible. And the donut flavor itself is also really quite incredible. It's got like a cinnamon thing. It's got a little coconut from the coconut flour, but not overpowering. There we go. Here, wait, let's spread that a little more even. All right, so here's our vanilla one. Check that out. Looks pretty good. Guys, these are really good. Like, maybe one of the best sweet treats I've ever made in the world of keto. Wow. Now, can I get this cinnamon glaze on? I guess it's more of a spread. Just spread it out. It is just insanely delicious. All right, here's our cinnamon sugar one. And we're gonna try that. That one's my favorite. Guys, these are so good. Holy cow. Okay, let's talk macros. If you're gonna have this sweet treat yourself, I definitely recommend it. They're amazing. The entire batch of donuts, now mind you, I didn't cook them all. I still could make probably 4 more. So I probably could make 10 total, and I had 6. The entire calorie count for all 10 would be 1,590 calories, which means basically each donut's about 160 calories. 160 to 200 if you want to round up to be safe. According to ChatGPT, I don't know for sure. I just go by ChatGPT. It's not always correct, but you can always double check the ingredients and make sure. The entire batch, total carbs, 50 grams. That would be 5 carbs per donut. Wait, is that right? No, that'd be 2.5 grams of carb per donut. Net carbs is 28.2 for the whole batch of 10. So that would mean, wait, am I mathing right? Yeah, so the net carbs would be 2.8 per, or 5 carbs total per donut. That's without the glaze. So basically per donut, assuming 10 donuts, you're at 5 carbs a donut, and like 2 or 3 net carbs per donut. They're pretty big too. Now the glaze is basically pure 0 sugar, 0 carb sugar with a little bit of other stuff. So they're gonna be super low. Calories for the entire thing of chocolate glaze, this whole bowl is 8 calories and 0.19 net carbs for the whole thing. So you're really not adding anything with the glaze except for a lot of that sugar that may hurt your stomach if you're not careful. So do be careful with that. But yeah, we're really talking, let's say 200 calories, 5 carbs, 3 net carbs per donut, and they're incredible. So absolutely make these, guys. They came out really good. They look great. They taste great. My favorite keto dessert I've made so far. So click the subscribe if you like this. Make sure that you check out all of my other videos where I make other awesome keto things and normal non-keto things. I'm on a keto kick now because I'm going keto myself. This is Dave, signing off.